Welcome to Graveyard Tours. Okay, we're back at the 1806 church, log cabin church in Bedford County. I've been here. I've been here several times. This is my second video, and just to show you the view, up there in the front is the new area where they still bury, but all surrounding the whole church is very old grave sites. Now, we are going to do a special. I got my notes here, did my research, so bear with me. Oh, if you would, please subscribe. Okay, so here's, so if you ever come out here, just to let you know too, during the fall season, which is now, the church is closed except for on the weekend. So it's only open Saturday and Sunday. That's it. So during the week, but in the summertime, it's open all the time, every day. But during the week in the fall, it's closed. Okay, so now we're going to do at the 1806 church. Here, this is the headstone. Let me read this. A very interesting story here. William Henson. Okay, and as you can see, this is a Confederate soldier's tag, okay, and he, of course, in the Civil War. All right, so let me just read this to you. First of all, let me show you lead kindly light, kindly light. I don't know what that is. W.M. Henson, December 17th, 1842 to August the 1st, 1925. And then, of course, his Catherine, his wife, died in 1923. So, 1928, I'm sorry. Let me read the story real quick. Okay, so this is a very interesting guy here. The stone is William Henson. That's his maternal grandmother's name. He was born Oliver Perry Niley of Mississippi. Okay, but his stone carving, this is what he went by while he lived here. So at age 19, from Mississippi, he signed up for the Confederate Army and served 1 year. He signed up, let me read my notes, April 1861, and he was discharged March 26, 1862, at age 19, and of course age 20 by then. Then he re-enlisted May the 3rd, 1862 for a 3-year term. So his first service was a 1-year term. So what happened was when he re-enlisted, he got captured in Vicksburg, October of 1863, and sent to the Union prison camp. It's called at Fort Alton in Illinois. Then what happened was in November of 1863, they put him on a transport train to send him to a different prison camp in a different prison in Delaware. Well, on that ride to Delaware from Illinois, he escaped. And he escaped somewhere in the mountains of Cambria County, which is not far from here, okay? This is Somerset. So what happened was, he escaped in Cambria County. He wandered into Somerset. This is Somerset. And he was taken in by a Quaker family for shelter. Very interesting story. So then what happened? So he changed his name to Henson, his grandmother's maternal last name, and he settled in Shellsburg. This is in Shellsburg, where we're at right now. This whole cemetery is in Shellsburg, which is Somerset County. And I'm just going to pan a little bit, just so I'm not just staring at the one place while I'm reading. So what happens, though, he settled in Shellsburg because he met Catherine, his wife. And they had children, got married, had children. And then he became the Justice of the Peace in Bedford County for many, many years. And so what happened was, nobody knew, his wife knew. So when he died and was buried, then she revealed who his real name was and who he was. By then, the Civil War was over. Obviously, because he died in 1925, people just, moved on with their lives. And but this is, again, it's such an interesting story. So he still has relatives who come here. So let's read this real quick. Okay, so here it is, right here. William Henson was born in Yazoo City, Mississippi in 1842 to John and Mary Niley. At the age of 19, he enlisted in the war in April 1861 for a period of 1 year. He was discharged March 28, 1862, May 3rd, 1862. He re-enlisted for a 3-year period. He was captured in Vicksburg. Well, okay, so I already read all this, okay? But such an interesting story, such an interesting life, you know? And of course, you're not going to see many of these Confederate placards here in Pennsylvania. This probably is maybe even the only one. In fact, I only found in my travels into all these graveyards, I only found one other Confederate burial site, which said Confederate burial sites. Now, maybe there was several, you know. So during the war, you know, you had brother against brother, family against family member, you know. So during that war, they, you know, a lot of people got captured on both sides and sent to each side to their areas and their prisons. And when they got released, you got to remember, folks, there was no cars back then. It was, you know, horse and buggy. And many people didn't even have the money to afford a horse and buggy, or even a horse for that matter. And let's say you got released after the war was over, and you know, you settled and made a new life, and you weren't going to go back home. I mean, you probably, you know, like this guy Henson, he probably said, hey, he met a girl, he fell in love, got married, had children, decided, you know, what's there to go back to in Mississippi? I'm just going to stay here. He got used to it, and that was it, you know. So very old graveyard out here. Lots of old tombstones. Now, I already went to, I was already here, and I went to the back into the sides, but this time I'm in the front area. Now, this is very unusual. But yeah, I wanted to read that story of the Henson guy. Very interesting, you know? It's so cool, you know? And I'm not going to get into the politics of the war and stuff like that, because we know who was right and who was wrong. But interestingly, I just wanted to mention that, you know, I was giving some thought about it, you know, and I've heard this before, and it just kind of popped in my memory. You know, got to remember, both sides were praying to the same God. So it's kind of interesting, you know, how both sides are praying to the same God for winning, and both believed in what they were doing. And oh, here's another Civil War soldier, John Snively. You know, it's so interesting. Okay, so there's a lot of Civil War soldiers here, okay? And here you have a Confederate buried among them, and you got to ask yourself, you know, it's like, I mean, it's ironic, you know. This is life, though. Life is full of ironies, you know. So we did, like I said, we've already been here once, and I showed you inside the church. So this is a beautiful old cabin, log cabin church, and very interesting story. In my other video, I talked about it, and I was inside the church. And so anyway, so we'll just do a quick peek in. I can't get in there now. So I'm not gonna even like try to press against too much, because it's just you know, that's a whole new video, another video which I already done. And what I was going to do, I was going to try to wanted to go in there and see if I can capture any paranormal anything out there. But, and you know, a lot of people still come out here. There's a couple of cars out here, you know, so, and there's people walking around. So but yeah, it's just really cool, and very neat, interesting place here. I mean, like, it's just, this is probably one of the coolest places I've been to. I mean, I could spend a month out here and just show you all kinds of different headstones, and, you know, the headstones you're not going to see really anywhere else. I haven't seen, and it's just the history of the place. You know, I love the history. So this is the back of the church. Like I said, I don't want to repeat and show the same headstones that I've showed before in my other video. I'll probably end up coming out here several times and do different videos, because it's just so cool. You know, like I said, the history, and look at all these slate headstones out here. And like I said, these are, you know, done very well, done professionally, but you know, they just, the slate is everywhere out here. Look at, I mean, the dates on these places. Like I said, this was 1806 church. Here's 1831. You know, that's 1831. And it's just so cool. Really cool out here. You know, I just love this. These old carvings. Here's 1830s. No, 1830, age 1, year 1. So, 1 day old. So look at this. Like I said, history, and to me, folks, I know I'm repeating myself, but this is artwork to me, you know. This really is. It's artwork. What is this? A Revolutionary War soldier here? Yeah, it sure is. Revolutionary War. Let me see. In memory of Tobias. Now that is an old name. Tobias Hammer departed this life May the 13th in the year of our Lord 1815, age 62 years old. I just love these old writings, and yeah, I mean, it's just really cool. Like I said, I could spend a lot of time out here. Look at that. Now, you know, they didn't really have many machine tools, so this person died 1851. Elizabeth. I can't really. Kinsey. Okay, it looks like Kinsey. So here's 1818. Jacob Kinsey. Okay, so this was family related. Born 1795. It's just amazing to me. I love the history, folks. Just love the history. So anyway, if you ever get a chance to come out here in the summertime, you know, it's a small driveway. It circles around, and it's sometimes you get like 10, 15, 20 cars out here, so it could be a mess. So even here, it's in November the 4th, I believe, and here's another Civil War soldier here. Yep, this Gar, Civil War. So 1908. Looks like Jesse Oliver. Looks like Jesse Oliver. But yeah, so this side over here is much newer. A couple older ones over here, just a couple. And you know, when they put this driveway here, it's probably the same old road that was the horse and buggy road back in the day, you know, because you know, imagine on Sunday, everybody coming to this church. Let me show you the church again. Everybody come to the church, and they sat on logs in the beginning. They didn't even have pews at the first. And 4 people donated logs, 1 for each side of logs. So they donated enough logs to build the church. So, and there's a house over there. That's interesting. So I just noticed that there's a house back there with a trailer in the back there. I just never noticed that before. You know, this is in the fall, so all the leaves are done. So anyway, you know, imagine going back, you know, 300 years almost, and everybody coming in a horse and buggy. You know, it's pretty wild to think about it. And sitting on logs, you know. So you watch my other video because I showed inside the church a lot. Here's a World War II gentleman here, William Ball, Sergeant, U.S. Army, World War II. Yeah, I mean, you know, I honor the veterans. You know, I give a lot of respect to them. You know, because like I said, we live in a great country, and I want to continue to live in this great country. And we live in this great country because people who sacrifice their lives, you know, a lot of them sacrifice their lives. There's another Civil War soldier, Nathaniel Miller, died 1899. Wow, 68 years old. What does it say? Colonel 1st Regiment, PA volunteer. And like I said, you'll have a lot of volunteers in Pennsylvania. A lot of them were volunteers. They weren't drafted. They volunteered to fight, you know. So I give them lots of respect for that. Now this is unusual. I think this little piece of rebar or something was put in a later time. Sacred memory of Jacob Fishers. Died 1821. Look at that. See this, like I said, this looks like this is the really old part right here. This is behind the church. Wow, Wow, born 1790 and died 1825. See, these are really old. This is Catherine Wagoner of William and Eve Barrick, born December. Okay, look at that. I mean, that's cool. That is an artwork. I don't know what is. Yeah, this is a really old section back here. So I'm discovering things every time I come out here. Here's 1936. Is it broken? Christiana, wife of John Fisher, 1836. Here's 1839. John Fisher, Memories of William. 1822, folks. That's old. That's old. Here's 1831. And you know, interestingly, these slate headstones seem to withstand a lot of the weather. A lot of the seems to withstand the pollution from the cars. Excuse me. So this is an old. It looks like granite, maybe. Which, you know, like I said, the pollution eats up. We'll go to some other ones over here. I ate an apple earlier and it's doing something to me. I think I swallowed this 1933 memory of Sarah Otto. Memory of David Van, John and Catherine Dahl. Where's the date? It looks like 1839. Sacred in memory. April. Where is the date? It just says 1822. That's really old. Okay. So yeah. So last time I was here, I videoed on the outskirts. I started down there and I videoed on the outskirts. But I'm gonna have to come back here a couple more times because one, this place is really cool. Two, I just never get tired of it because every time I come in, I find something new. And then, you know, you kind of understand the place a little bit better. And it's easier to shoot because you remember certain things, you know. Let's go on the other side of this. Yeah, so if you come out, definitely it's worth the trip out here because, like I said, people come out here, 1832. Yeah, so it looks like the oldest graves, here's 1829, memory of Ephraim Berry. If you come out here, again, there's a church. Go in the back of the church is where the oldest grave sites are. And the coolest, I mean, it's just really, really cool. Look at this. Look at this artwork on here. Memory of Hester McAulty. Born 1757, died 1830. Okay, folks, I'm going to call it. So I hope you enjoyed my videos, and I hope you hit the subscribe button. I want to keep doing this, so please support me by just subscribing. Hit the like button if you would. Leave a comment if you want to. And that's it. So another one, Graveyard Tours. 1806 church, and that's it, folks. And I, you know, I have some feelings out here, so I may do a, try to see if I get any responses from any spirits out here. I don't want to be disrespectful. Respect is my #1 thing. And that, well, I'll tell you what. Let's look at this one really quick. This is unusual. This is really cool. So who is this? Memory of Anna Consort. Okay, and the date. Let's see if I can find a date here, folks. 1836. Yeah, very, very well preserved. Very well preserved. Really cool. I like how the yucca plants are surrounding this gravesite. So I don't know if probably it was planted here a long time ago, or maybe afterwards. I have no idea. Here's another old one really quick. 1835, in memory of John Mowry, died June 8th, 1834, age 78 years old. I mean, to live that long. Oh, this is a Revolutionary War soldiers. Look at that. You see, there is so much history out here. I love it. I love the history. I love the artwork. Yeah, it's definitely worth coming out here, folks. If you get a chance, come on out here. Thanks for watching. Till the next time.